Every single year, millions of Americans dutifully pour money into their 401k. They follow the rules, they trust the system, and they walk right past an account that offers something the 401k cannot. Triple tax advantage. No other retirement vehicle in the United States tax code does what this account does. Not the 401k, not the Roth IRA, nothing. And here is the part that should keep you up at night. This account has been available to American workers since 2004, when it was created by federal legislation and written directly into the tax code. More than 2 decades. Most financial advisors mention it as a footnote, a way to pay for a doctor's visit, maybe cover some dental work. They hand you the pamphlet and move on. But what they are not telling you, what the paperwork quietly obscures, is that this is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools ever written into American law. We are going to follow that thread all the way to the end. The account is called a health savings account, an HSA. And before you dismiss it as a medical spending tool, stay with me. Because what most people never discover is the third function, the one buried under layers of healthcare jargon, the one that turns this account into a stealth retirement engine. Here's how it works. When you contribute to an HSA, the money goes in tax-free. It grows inside the account tax-free, and when you spend it on qualified expenses, it comes out tax-free. 3 separate tax exemptions. A 401k only gives you 2. A Roth IRA only gives you 2. The HSA is the only account in existence that hits all 3. And then something changed. In the original design, HSA funds were meant to roll over year to year, unlike a flexible spending account, which expires. But what Congress quietly embedded in the rules was something far more significant. Once your HSA balance crosses a threshold, typically around $1,000 depending on your provider, you can invest the remainder in index funds, in ETFs, in the same instruments driving long-term market returns. The math becomes remarkable. According to Fidelity's documented retirement research, a 65-year-old couple retiring today will need approximately $315,000 just to cover healthcare costs in retirement, costs that Medicare does not fully cover. HSA withdrawals used for medical expenses at any age carry 0 tax liability. 0. That is not a loophole, that is the law as written. This is where the case breaks open. Because here is what the most sophisticated HSA investors actually do. They max out their annual contribution. In 2026, the IRS set contribution limit for an individual is $4,300, with the family limit and catch-up contribution amounts confirmed annually by the IRS and available at irs.gov. Links are in the description below. They pay their current medical bills out of pocket using other funds, and they let the HSA compound untouched for decades. Then, and this is the move almost nobody knows, they save every medical receipt, every copay, every prescription, because the IRS places no time limit on HSA reimbursements. You can reimburse yourself decades later for expenses you paid out of pocket today. Tax-free cash, withdrawn in retirement, funded by receipts you collected in your 30s. Nobody talks about this. There is one catch, and it is important. To contribute to an HSA, you must be enrolled in a high-deductible health plan, or HDHP. For 2026, the IRS minimum deductible thresholds that define a high-deductible health plan are confirmed in IRS Publication 969 and the annual HSA limit announcement, both linked in the description, since these figures are adjusted periodically and vary by year. That disqualifies some people. But for the millions enrolled in HDHPs who are simply not using their HSA as an investment vehicle, the opportunity cost is staggering. Remember what I said at the start. An account hiding in plain sight since 2004. Here's what it actually is. A tax-sheltered investment account that doubles as a medical expense reimbursement fund with no expiration date. The 401k has a required minimum distribution. The IRS forces withdrawals starting at age 73. The HSA, used for medical expenses, carries no such requirement. The one action you can take this week, not someday this week, is to log into your employer benefits portal or visit hsafinder.com and confirm whether your current health plan qualifies as an HDHP. If it does, open or activate your HSA today and contribute even a small amount. Then open an investment account inside the HSA. Most major providers, including Fidelity and Lively, offer this, and move anything above your emergency medical buffer into a low-cost index fund. The account was never hidden. The rules were always public. The triple tax advantage was always there in the fine print. So the question worth sitting with, the one worth leaving in the comments, is this. If an account this powerful has existed for over 2 decades, written directly into federal law, why did nobody ever explain it to you? This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. Always do your own research before making any financial decisions.